Elegance meets allure with this stunning diamond and onyx creation, a masterpiece that whispers of timeless sophistication. This piece used to belong to the guest's stepmother, who inherited it from her grandmother. The onyx on the diamond piece looks faceted, giving it a unique reflection of light. Furthermore, these are old European-cut diamonds, weighing around 5 carats. This piece dates back to the Art Deco period, circa the early 1900s. Additionally, this item was made in the form of a ribbon bow, which has been interpreted in jewelry making for centuries.
What's kind of fun is that it's a ribbon bow, which has been interpreted in jewelry for centuries.
As a testament to its authenticity, this piece is signed by the maker, Cartier. Flipping it over, we can observe that it is marked on the pin stem along the sides, and we can also see that it has a serial number on the center element. Overall, this fantastic Cartier jewelry is in very good condition, popular among socialites, and exudes royalty. At auction, an item this rare and flamboyant would be valued at around...
Conservatively, an auction estimate today would be in the neighborhood of $8,000 to $12,000.
Wow, okay.
The guest shares the story of finding the painting at a local Goodwill with his wife, drawn to its beauty and quality despite knowing little about it. Priced at $4.99, he decided to purchase it. The appraiser introduces John Baldessari as one of the most important living contemporary artists.
Probably one of the most important living contemporary artists. He was profoundly influential on several generations of young artists who are working today.
Born and raised in National City, California, he famously declared in 1971 that he would no longer make boring art. The painting, titled Signed for Rothko and Albers, is from Baldessari's early period, a time when he destroyed much of his work before transitioning to more conceptual pieces. The painting's title references Mark Rothko and Joseph Albers, two influential painters. Appraiser notes that Baldessari painted this piece himself.
And he had a very famous show in 1968 where he hired a sign painter to simply paint the artworks for him.
This shift was a significant concept in the art world, emphasizing the idea behind the art rather than the physical act of painting. The painting is oil on canvas, rare for Baldessari's later works. Label on the back indicates it could be rented for $3 a month from the La Jolla Museum of Art, with the option to buy after a year. The appraiser estimates its current retail replacement value at about...
Today, I would put a retail replacement value of about $90,000.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
Our guest recounts finding the pottery at a local Goodwill with his wife, recognizing its beauty and quality despite knowing nothing about it. Priced at $4.99, he decided to purchase it. The appraiser explains that the Overbeck pottery is from Indiana, created by 4 sisters. This piece is marked OBK for Overbeck, with the sisters' initials E and F incised into the surface. The pottery reflects the arts and crafts period, particularly the late teens and early 1920s.
Arts and crafts influence, and this falls into that power alley.
This design technique distills the original design from geometric forms, evident in the repeated geometric depiction of a man in a striped suit with a pink sun and tree behind him. The appraiser praises the technical achievement of the pottery, noting its even firing on all sides. He estimates its value at auction to be between...
At auction, it would bring somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000.
Can't believe that.
I mean, it's a seriously good piece of Overbeck.
The guest explains that the painting was a gift to her husband, who was the dean of the graduate school at Ohio State University in the 1960s. He did a favor for the growing East Asia Studies Department, and as a thank you, they gave him this painting. The painting is by the Chinese artist Fong John V, who was born near Guangzhou Province in 1890 and died in 1991. He lived in China for many years but moved to Taiwan in 1949 when Madame Chiang Kai-shek moved there. Fong John V was a famous landscape painter, and the painting is done in the typical Chinese style of ink on paper.
As a typical Chinese painting, it's ink on paper, and there is a bit of color by the waterfall here and on the man's robe down here. and those could have been a bit more brilliant to begin with and could have faded a bit over time.
The colors may have faded a bit over time. There is an inscription on the painting that translates to, "The flying stream falls directly down, 3,000 feet.
Now, this poem is part of a poem that was written by the 8th century Tang Dynasty Chinese poet Li Bo.
The painting is dated to the year 1969, based on the Chinese 16-year cycle. This painting is a bit more sparse than some of his other works. It would still carry a pre-sale estimate of,
At auction, it would undoubtedly carry a pre-sale estimate of $8,000 to $12,000.
Very interesting.
These books belonged to the guest's father and are an impressive selection by the renowned 18th century Italian printmaker Giovanni Piranesi.
He collected all sorts of encyclopedias, different kinds of books like these books, and amassed a very large library.
Piranesi was a significant figure in Italian architectural paintmaking and moved to Rome in 1740 to study under the famous Giuseppe Vazzi.
This is a portrait of Piranesi, issued just shortly after his death.
The appraiser highlighted the significance of Piranesi's work, particularly his portrayal of Roman architecture and exploration of its origins in Etruscan influence. This work is done from Piranesi's book Magnificent, where he tried to prove that Roman architecture did not come from the Greeks, but actually was inspired by the Etruscans. Despite some common wear and tear, the set was in remarkable condition.
The condition of the volumes is amazing, really in extraordinary condition. And you have a total of 330 plates by Piranesi, which is an enormous number.
Recognizing their rarity, condition, and historical significance, the appraiser estimated the aggregate auction value for the collection to be between,
I think the aggregate auction value for the whole collection would be in the range of $50,000 to $70,000.
Thank you, Dad!
This book belonged to guest's uncle, who was an artist and a graduate of the Chicago Art Institute. The appraiser identified the book as a series of periodicals titled 291, famously associated with Alfred Stieglitz's photographic studio in New York. Published between 1915 and 1916, the 12 issues represented the birth of modernism and avant-garde in America. The magazine was initially intended as a complete 12-issue run, with limited editions of 1,100 copies, including 100 printed on vellum and the remainder on paper. Despite its significance, the magazine was a financial disaster for Stieglitz, with most of the print run sold off cheaply. The appraiser noted that complete magazine sets are rare in the market, and in the condition presented, they could fetch,
at retail, approximately $25,000.
Wow.
The guest explains that the silver pieces belonged to her mother, who was an apprentice at age 16 for George Jensen, the renowned Danish silversmith, for 5 years. The collection includes her mother's apprentice piece, certificate of completion, drawings,
apprenticeship, and recommending her and praising her for her hard work and certifying that she would be a
line drawings of the grapevine patterned piece, a covered vegetable bowl, show the correct markings for 1933, her graduation year, with her own drawings to assist in making the piece. The appraiser discusses a letter from George Jensen certifying her completion of apprenticeship and praising her work, along with a book on the history of the George Jensen firm featuring a picture of the workshop with her mother in it. The silver pieces include a necklace made in 1932 before her apprenticeship completion, marked with her initials and the date, and a bracelet and necklace made later, marked with her married initials. The appraiser explains the history and significance of the George Jensen firm, noting that the pattern on the covered vegetable bowl, 408, came out around 1925, and
this pattern came out around 1925. This is the 408, and it came in a variety of sizes.
The appraiser estimates the whole collection to be valued at,
we would assume that there's for sure collectors out there worldwide that somewhere in the $30,000 to $35,000 range, your entire collection would be able to be.
This quilt was designed by the guest's mother and father-in-law, who wanted to participate in the Chicago World's Fair in 1933.
The theme was the century of progress.
The appraiser described the quilt's design, noting that each square was intended to represent an old and a new concept. The central piece depicted a 1930s woman surrounded by portraits of notable figures such as Edison, Abraham Lincoln, FDR, and Lindbergh. The outer border of the quilt showcased the names of inventors, scientists, and individuals who influenced industry and scientific discovery during that century. Despite not winning or meeting the contest deadline, the quilt's design was praised for its sophistication and thoughtfulness. For replacement value, the appraiser estimated the quilt's worth at
placement value. I would place $12,000 placement value on this.
Right. We'll uncover the true worth of this map, which the guest underestimated.
A lot of people don't know Providence, so I'm assuming it's not worth as much as if it was Boston or New York or a more popular city. I'm thinking maybe $1,000, maybe.
Guest has this old map of Providence, Rhode Island from 1857. She grew up in Rhode Island and found this while cleaning out her parents' house. This is a monumental wall map printed in New York and unusually large for its era. Made by Henry Francis Walling, who was a native of Rhode Island, it's printed as a lithograph on linen. The map shows Providence in 1857 with projections of future growth. It is surrounded by smaller views of important buildings, hand-colored for detail. Best way to preserve it is to keep it folded. Given how rare it is, it's worth closer to...
An auction estimate would be, at this day and age, about $3,000 to $4,000.
Oh, wow. Very nice. That's nice.
Guest explains that the painting is by Françoise Gillot, known for being a mistress of Picasso and the mother of Paloma Picasso. Acquired at a PBS auction around 35 to 40 years ago, the painting is signed F. Gillot and has a gallery label from Dalzell Hatfield, a Los Angeles gallery, with the title Yellow Flower. Born in 1921, Françoise Gillot was introduced to art by her mother, who taught her painting but not drawing.
And she taught her daughter that if you made a mistake in an artwork, you should just incorporate the mistake and make that as part of the artwork.
Gillot met Picasso at 21, living with him from 1944 to 1953. Later, she married Jonas Salk, the vaccine pioneer. The painting reflects Picasso's abstracted cubist influence, but with more organic lines.
And later on, she kind of developed her own style.
There's renewed interest in Gillot's work, with recent sales fetching over $500,000. The appraiser suggests the painting might sell for as much as...
In a retail gallery, it might sell for as much as $20,000.
Really? Oh, you're kidding.
The appraiser identifies the item as a World War I bomb sight manufactured by the Edison Company. Before such devices were available, pilots had to estimate their targets, making bombing accuracy difficult. The appraiser mentions that the bomb sight was used to compensate for wind speed. Estimated auction value for the World War I bomb sight is between $1,500 and $2,500. Costumes and set designs serve as more than just outfits for characters. They act as portals, transporting individuals into the heart of the narrative. Today's guest presents drawings of iconic costumes and set designs. These costume design and set designs were crafted by Roger K. Furse, an English painter known for his work as a costume and production designer in both stage and film. He received an Academy Award in 1948 for costume design. This particular piece is from a 1955 production of Macbeth.
And in this production of Macbeth in 1955, Olivier got so much acclaim for his role and his depiction of Macbeth that all the other characters...
The costume design depicts a male character named Olivier, whom Furse intended to exude an aura of strength and brutal violence, achieved through the use of tweeds and heavy masculine fabrics. On the other hand, the set designs convey a sense of impending doom and an eerie atmosphere, employing stark lighting and minimal architectural details. In terms of value, these remarkable items truly showcase exceptional design skills and are in pristine condition, likely commanding an auction price of...
So I think this might be worth $800 to $1,200.
Oh, great.
And how much did you pay for the two?
$75.
Very good. And I think this might be at least $600 to $800.
Fabulous. Wow, great. Thank you.
The timepiece had belonged to her great-great-grandfather, bearing the initials H.O.B. Sr., and the date 1848. Following in succession the initials of her grandfather, H.O.B. Jr., and then her father, H.O.B. III, were also engraved on it. The William Forbes silver can, crafted in New York City, is a stunning example of American silverwork. Its design, often described as cartouche form, reflects the exquisite craftsmanship of the era. It features a lovely scroll handle, intricate chased, and bright-colored decoration. Upon flipping it over, one can spot the hallmark of Ball, Tompkins & Black, a distinguished American silver manufacturer from New York. Below the initial set of hallmarks on the can, there are additional markings indicating the work of William Forbes, a prominent New York silver maker. Mr. Forbes enjoyed widespread recognition for his craftsmanship in the industry. The appraiser values the Williams Forbes silver can.
An auction value on this can would be approximately $1,000 to $1,500.
Very nice.
The appraiser explains that the first Tarzan book was published in Chicago in 1914 by McClurg. The ownership of the publishers who handled Tarzan changed frequently over the years. Estimated auction value for these whole Tarzan book collection to be between,
I would put on the whole collection a value of $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh, wonderful.
The guest purchased the table from a friend for $350 and later discovered that the emblem on it belonged to the Automobile Club de France de l'Ouest. The table features a late Victorian-style base made of cast iron.
This is cast iron, and here's this mark, General Toulouse.
Highlight of the table is the Intaglio Pietra Dura inlaid marble top, which is the real art piece of the table. The appraiser knows that the table was likely made around 1906. Current market for automobilia is very strong, mirroring the hot car market. As such, the appraiser estimates that the table could easily fetch,
And I would put an auction estimate on this easily of $6,000 to $12,000.
The epitome of refinement and style, embodied in the stunning rosewood cabinet, is absolutely captivating. This piece of furniture was brought onto the show by the guest, and it used to be in a house the guest's parents purchased in 1963. When the house was purchased, this piece, along with other furniture, came along with it. Interestingly, this furniture passed most of the essential quality checks, including its condition, provenance, craftsmanship, and rarity. Furthermore, upon observing this item closely, it is finished on every side, and the rosewood top is inset with a cast brass molding. Also, there is an inlay of mother-of-pearl and brass set above a floral pewter inlay on top of a single door with an elaborate panel. Additionally, the cabinet's interior is cedar-lined, styled graciously in the Napoleon III style, and it was made circa 1800s.
It's in the Napoleon III style or the Empire style, and it's a French cabinet.
The unparalleled beauty of this rosewood furniture, its durability, offers us a glimpse of what craftsmanship truly is. And in this very good condition, it would be valued at auction at around...
In an auction setting today, we would estimate it at $2,000 to $4,000. Wow.
The guest inherited these jewels from her great-aunt in 2004, who left a note saying, "Please enjoy these, and then give them to your daughter." The guest was overwhelmed when she received them and finds them to be really beautiful. These jewelry pieces are from the Art Deco period, which is one of the most exciting periods in jewelry history. They date back to roughly 1930 and feature diamonds, sapphires, and platinum, which was the metal of choice for the era. The Art Deco style is characterized by geometric shapes, straight lines, clean finishes, and sharp color contrasts.
The center diamond in the ring is just over 2 carats.
Center diamond in the fringe is just over 2 carats and is a very nice stone.
Very nice stone. Wow. And it's beautifully displayed.
The sapphires in the jewelry have a differential cut, which is an unusual cutting style that adds to their appeal.
And very sharp color contrasts. And both of these pieces exhibit those elements beautifully.
This bracelet is a belly-style bracelet, wider in the middle and tapering towards the ends.
Graduation from the middle to the ends is brilliantly done. So with that said, would you have any idea as to what the value of these pieces might be?
In today's auction market, these pieces, as a suite, could fetch a pre-sale auction estimate of
Together, they would have a pre-sale auction estimate of $15,000 to $20,000.
My.
This German Father Christmas figure was discovered by the guest's grandfather while doing repairs in the attic of an old home purchased in the 1940s. Despite attempting to return it to the original owner, who denied any knowledge of it, the figure remained in the family. The appraiser noted that the figure's dates back to around 1910. It was in excellent condition with only slight discoloration on the face. Leaving the guest a delightful surprise, its retail value was estimated to be between
He has a retail value of $2,000 to $2,500.
Wow, wonderful.
In the thrift store's fine arts section, the guest discovered a piece they instantly loved. They've carried it from house to house ever since. The guest bought it for the amount of $2.52. Painting with Crayon by Earl Kirkham, year 1950, showcases his unique style and material experimentation. His signature is in the top right. This piece likely reflects Kirkham's innovative abstract expressionist style. It's oil on board, but the lines are drawn with crayon on top of the paint. He stuck with Cézanne and Cubism, steering clear of the abstract expressionist movement embraced by others. Crayons offer a departure, inviting exploration of their tactile qualities and bold colors. Painting with Crayon reflects Kirkham's innovative spirit and commitment to artistic boundaries. The painting's mysteries spoke softly through its hues as the appraiser assessed its worth.
I would expect you to get somewhere around about $1,500 to $2,500.
Craftsmanship and poetry unite in this item, where glass is sculptured into elegance and cultural legacy. The guest inherited it from her mother. This item is a European glass art house vase made circa 1900s. Although unmarked, this vase was likely crafted by a company called Palm Koenig.
Although it's not marked, by a company called Palma Koenig.
Renowned for their superb craftsmanship in vase making. Adorning the glass is a colorful floral design, and it has been exceptionally well maintained considering its age. A vintage, intricately designed vase like this one certainly catches the eye, and at auction it would likely be valued around
Conservative retail estimate would be between $1,000 and $1,500.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
That's fine.
Guest inherited a cherished sewing box from her late mother, a unique piece made for her grandmother in England. It's of English origin, dating it to the early 1870s. The box's design features intricate marquetry, depicting sailing vessels and steamships. Each side showcases meticulous craftsmanship, including a paddle steamer, a heart-shaped accretion, and a full-sail vessel. Top of the box displays a beautifully rendered scene with a lighthouse, showcasing the original finish and warm patina.
A very interesting variety of exotic woods. See a burl walnut, and that looks like cherry, and contrasting lighter fruit woods.
Opening the box reveals a compartmentalized interior with colorful inlaid flags and family memorabilia. It is described as a treasure box, filled with fascinating tidbits and memories. Sailor-made items and marine art contribute to its value.
That its value would be, well, somewhere probably in the $3,000 to $5,000 range.
The value of this folk art has dipped, now ranging from $1,500 to $2,500. The guest presents stunning works of art in the form of a necklace and 2 bracelets, purchased by the guest's father. The necklace is an Etruscan revival, heavily influenced by ancient Greek religion, and it's a replica of an ancient necklace.
The necklace is what we call Etruscan revival, and this is a copy of an ancient necklace made probably in England or in Italy about 1870.
Made with coral from the Mediterranean, it was crafted using 18-karat gold.
It has coral from the Mediterranean, very beautiful, almost angel skin coral, and 18-karat gold.
A bracelet shaped like a serpent with small diamond eyes woven around a steel core that runs through it, enchanting the soul. The third piece is a gold ankle bracelet adorned with a series of figures that is a symbol of elegance and grace. Both bracelets were intricately designed to reflect the sophistication and refinement of the Victorian era. And these items, each serving as timeless treasures, reflect the romanticism and charm of a bygone era, and at auction would fetch
This Victorian Etruscan Revival necklace would bring about $15,000.
My.
Serpent bracelets sell in good antique shops for approximately $7,500. Syrian Revival bangle is also a $15,000.
The guest brought a treasure trove of memorabilia from their time as a press officer in the Kennedy administration. Among the collection were several intriguing items, but the appraiser's keen eye gravitated towards a set of 3 speech transcripts. These transcripts, unlike many signed copies that circulated, were riddled with edits in Kennedy's own handwriting. This detail offered a rare glimpse into the president's thought process and the meticulous crafting of his speeches. It wasn't just the content of the speeches themselves, but the revisions and annotations that provided scholars and historians with valuable insights. The significance of the collection extended beyond these annotated speeches. Drafts like the one for the Amherst College address, delivered shortly before the president's assassination, added another layer to the historical narrative. Furthermore, the seemingly mundane press manifest from the 1963 Dallas trip, with its scheduled arrival time for a luncheon that Kennedy tragically never attended. The true worth of the collection stemmed from its ability to weave together these various elements, creating a more complete understanding of a significant moment in history. Taken individually, the items held value, but as a whole, they transcended the sum of their parts. Recognizing this, the estimated value of the collection is...
My conservative view would be at this juncture, it would have an auction estimate of $60,000 to $80,000.
Wow.
A handcrafted carousel model they had purchased for a steal at an antique shop years ago. The carousel, technically a menagerie because it featured a variety of animals beyond horses, had captivated the guest for a long time before they were finally able to afford it. The carousel's maker was identified as Malik, based on historical paperwork that accompanied the piece. Such carousels with various animals were a more sophisticated design compared to those featuring just horses. The craftsmanship of the carousel is very impressive, everything from the carved and painted wooden animals to the intricate fretwork details. A unique element was the clockwork mechanism, likely salvaged from another item, which brought the carousel to life with moving figures like Uncle Sam and the band musicians. The value of the carousel stemmed from its appeal to 2 distinct audiences: folk art collectors and carousel collectors. Considering the craftsmanship, the historical context provided by the paperwork, and the dual collector interest, the estimated retail value of the carousel is between...
So I'm going to say retail $8,000 to $12,000.
Oh my, thank you.
The fascinating tale of Anna Smith, a painting with a rich maritime history, is passed down through generations. The Anna Smith finds its origin in the talented hands of Seth Whipple, a Michigan native and renowned Great Lakes artist born in 1855. Painted in 1887, this masterpiece captures the essence of a bygone era, symbolizing the transition from sail to steam power in maritime transportation. Whipple's attention to detail is evident in every brushstroke.
Love the wonderful low horizon line.
Right.
I love the power of the tugboat coming forward, the drama in the sky.
But Anna Smith isn't just a work of art. It's a testament to the legacy of the Parker Transport Company and the craftsmanship of its builders. Tragically, Anna Smith met its demise in 1898, but its memory lives on through this painting. Despite the challenges of time, including a notable hole in the canvas, its value remains undiminished. In this condition, the auction value would be somewhere between...
The auction value would be somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Sidonia Klein Goldman, the guest's husband's grandmother, was a gifted artist who expressed her talent through china painting. Unlike many who decorated practical objects like plates and vases, Sidonia created her works on porcelain plaques specifically designed for wall display. Her skills surpassed those of mere hobbyists, placing her among the truly talented china painters of her time. There are 2 contrasting plaques by Sidonia. One, depicting a scene with monks and vegetables, showcased her technical ability. However, the less popular subject matter and the unfortunate scratches caused by years of use as a key dish significantly reduced its value. In contrast, the plaque featuring two little boys was a more desired theme and remained in excellent condition. This plaque, a testament to Sidonia's artistic skill and featuring a universally beloved subject, holds a retail value of...
I would say a retail value would be between $400 and $600.
Oh,
it's really, really nice.
I cannot believe that.
But the monks, the combination of the subject matter, which is not as desirable, and the scratches, a retail value might be...
A retail value might be as little as $100 to $200. Just a little bit, but it might be hard to sell.
The guest had little information about the fabric's origin, but believed it might be connected to the Wright Flyer. The guest brought in a framed piece of fabric, a cherished family heirloom passed down by their grandfather, Maurice H. Smith. It was confirmed that the fabric was indeed a genuine swatch from the wing of the Wright Flyer, one of several created after Orville Wright's death. These commemorative pieces were cut from the original fabric and presented with a certificate signed by Lester Gardner, a close friend of the Wright brothers and a significant figure in early aviation history. While the exact number of these collectibles remained unknown, their historical significance was undeniable. Taking into account the fabric's authenticity, its connection to the Wright Flyer, and Lester Gardner's signature, the retail value on this piece is...
I would put an auction estimate on this of $8,000 to $10,000. Wow.
Here we have a unique piece, a print, or possibly a drawing. The guest's father, a dentist from the Schultz family, likely received the artwork in the early 1950s. It is identified as a strip created by Charles Schultz, better known by his nickname Sparky.
Sparky was Charles Schultz's nickname.
Right, there you go. And Schultz was one of the most famous natives of Minnesota.
It ran from 1947 to 1950 in the St. Paul Pioneer Press, predating the world-famous Peanuts comic strip. Schultz attempted national syndication in 1948, but the deal fell through, leading to the cancellation of this particular strip in early 1950. Peanuts, however, would debut later that same year. This artwork held immense significance, a precursor to the beloved Peanuts characters.
The great part about this is it's been hidden away for all of these years. For all intents and purposes, nobody even knows this piece still exists.
An inscription, from Sparky to the guest's father, added a personal touch. Considering its strength, the appraiser declared its value to be...
I would probably place an estimate on this at auction somewhere around $18,000 to $24,000.
All right.
This is a tea set steeped in history and crafted from an unlikely material, melted American silver dollars. The guest explained that the set was a family heirloom commissioned in Paris by his great-grandfather, who was a Confederate sympathizer who had fled the United States during the Civil War. Seeking aid from Napoleon III, the guest's great-grandfather had likely melted down his silver dollars to finance the creation of this exquisite tea set by Odiot. Odiot was one of the most prestigious silversmiths in France. This piece does not just have its historical background, but is also of exceptional quality. The intricate details and superb craftsmanship of the Odiot tea set were evident throughout the design, from the beautiful figure of Neptune perched atop the pitcher to the overall elegance of the sterling silver. The combination of historical significance, artistic merit, and the renown of the maker placed the tea set's value at...
This kind of history, you're talking somewhere in the area of $70,000 to $90,000.
Wow.
In the world of luxury, few adornments rival the allure of a piece cast in the warm glow of yellow gold, a symbol of timeless refinement. This guest showcases a yellow gold Cartier pin gifted by her husband. The item is made with 18 carats gold. Although this piece resembles a safety pin, it is much more than that. At both ends of the pin feature blue stones inlaid, cut from lapis in a high dome fashion. Upon a closer inspection of one end, there is a tiny hallmark resembling an eagle's head, indicating its origin from France. Design-wise, this item hails from the 1940s. On the inside, there's a sign indicating it was made by Cartier, along with a visible serial number authenticating its originality.
There's tiny little numbers, there's 5 numbers. That's very important when trying to authenticate Cartier pieces.
A finely preserved Cartier creation, both authentic and rare, making its value at auction to be around
I would say at auction, $6,000 to $8,000.
You're kidding.
The guest's garage sale adventure yielded a hidden gem, a beautiful yet asymmetrical sumac rug. With a keen eye for design, the guest had snagged this unique piece for a mere $250 from a professor who was downsizing. The rug has lots of potential, identified as a Caucasian sumac rug, crafted using an intricate chain stitch technique. Sumac rugs originated in the Caucasus region in the late 19th century and continue to be produced today. One of the most striking features of the rug was its lack of symmetry in the medallion design. While some might prefer a more balanced design, the asymmetry in this rug spoke to the creativity and individuality of the weavers. However, focusing on the quality and craftsmanship evident throughout the rug and the current condition, the rug holds a significant value of...
We could very realistically say that this would have a retail value of $15,000 after restoration.